Liam Rosenior just signed a contract at Chelsea Football Club until 2032, 8 years, for a manager who less than 2 years ago was dumped by Hull City after finishing 7th in the championship. Wait, how did we get here? How does a bloke go from being told thanks but no thanks by a mid-table championship club to managing one of the richest teams on the planet? This isn't just a comeback story, it's a masterclass in how modern football actually works. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll either think Rosenior's a genius or you'll think Chelsea have lost the plot entirely. May 7th, 2024, Hull City announced their parting ways with Liam Rosenior. The reason? Philosophical differences, which is football speak for we don't like how you play. But here's the mad bit, Hull finished 7th. They were 3 points off the playoffs. They'd played some of the most progressive football in the championship, so why sack him? Under Rosenior, Hull averaged 55.4% possession, the highest in the league. They built from the back like they were auditioning for a Pep Guardiola tribute act. Fans loved it, the media praised it, but owner Akun Ilıcalı, not so much. Ilıcalı wanted direct football. He wanted goals, excitement, promotion. Rosenior wanted patterns, principles, long-term identity. Classic clash. And when you're the owner with the checkbook, you win. So Rosenior was out. Hull fans were fuming. Twitter melted down. But here's what nobody realized at the time. Some very important people were watching, and they loved what they saw. Because while Hull's owner saw boring possession football, scouts at Chelsea's parent company saw something else entirely. A manager who could build something sustainable with young players. And that's a rare commodity. There's this story about Rosenior that I absolutely love. During his time at Hull, his wife allegedly complained that he was trying to teach their kids a 3-2-5 build-up structure in the garden with cones on a Saturday morning. The man is obsessed. And honestly, you need that level of obsession to succeed in modern football. 2 months after getting sacked, Rosenior lands at RC Strasbourg in France. And if you're thinking, who? Fair. Strasbourg aren't exactly a household name. They just survived relegation. Their squad was young, very young. In fact, Rosenior fielded the youngest starting 11 in League One history at one point. Every outfield player under 23. That's not a football team, that's a youth academy. But here's where it gets wild. By the end of the 2024-25 season, Strasbourg finished 7th in League One. With babies. They qualified for the Conference League, and they did it playing the exact same style that got Rosenior sacked at Hull. High possession, aggressive pressing, building from the back even when it made fans nervous. But this time, it worked. Because this time, he had the right structure around him. And here's the kicker. Strasbourg are owned by Blueco, the same people who own Chelsea. This wasn't just a job for Rosenior. This was an audition. Quick one. If you're enjoying this deep dive into managers you've probably never heard of, hit that subscribe button. Because we do this kind of thing all the time. Under the radar stories, tactical breakdowns, the stuff Sky Sports won't tell you. Right, back to France. So what actually makes Rosenior different? Because plenty of managers can draw up a nice 3-2-5 on a tactics board. What separates the good from the great is man management, and Rosenior's got a very specific approach. He calls it humanity first, football second, which sounds like corporate nonsense, but here's a real example of what he means. At Strasbourg, during an reportage during preseason, he ran a Lego building competition, split the squad into groups. Nibuelbode gave them an hour to build the most creative structure. No football involved, just vibes. The point? Team bonding, sure, but also watching how players communicate under pressure, who takes charge, who listens, who gets frustrated. It's psychology disguised as play. And it worked. Strasbourg's dressing room was rock solid all season. No leaks, no drama, just a group of kids who genuinely liked each other. Compare that to Chelsea's recent history. Right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Todd Boehly and Blueco's multi-club model. Because this is where the Rosenior appointment makes perfect sense. Blueco don't just own Chelsea, they own Strasbourg. They've got stakes in other clubs. The idea? Use the smaller clubs as a laboratory. Test managers, test players, test systems. If it works, promote them to the big stage. It's basically Football Manager, but real life. And Rosenior was the guinea pig. Think about it. He took a relegated quality squad to 7th place in Europe in one season. He developed young players who Blueco either loaned from Chelsea or planned to sell for profit. He implemented a clear, modern playing style. And he did it all while the Chelsea board watched every single match. When Enzo Maresca quit on January 1st, 2026, Chelsea didn't panic. They didn't scramble for big names. They already had their man. He'd been auditioning for 18 months. And on January 6, 2026, Liam Rosenior signed until 2032. 8 years. That's not a short-term fix. That's a long-term project. Chelsea are betting everything on this working. All right, here's where I need your take. Is Liam Rosenior a tactical genius who deserves this shot? Or is he just the ultimate company man? A coach who'll do exactly what Blueco tells him because they gave him the job. Because there's a cynical read here. Maybe he's only at Chelsea because he's compliant. Because he won't push back when the board makes bizarre transfer decisions. Because he owes them everything. Or maybe, just maybe, he's the real deal. Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them. Because Chelsea are a mess. They're 6th in the Premier League. They've got about 47 registered players. Half the squad wants to leave. The fans are confused. And the media's waiting for him to fail. But here's what I think he'll do. He'll implement the same 3-2-5 build-up he used at Strasbourg. He'll trust young players because he has to. Chelsea's squad is ridiculously young anyway, and he'll be patient. The talent's there. Cole Palmer's world-class. Enzo Fernandez can pass through lines. Moises Caicedo can do everything. If Rosenior can get them pressing cohesively and moving the ball quickly, Chelsea could genuinely challenge for top 4. But, and this is a big but, the Premier League is unforgiving. You can't just possess the ball and hope for the best. You need intensity, resilience, and a bit of chaos. Can Rosenior handle that? We'll find out. By May, we'll know if this was genius or madness. And honestly, I'm weirdly optimistic. Liam Rosenior's story is one of the wildest in modern football. Sacked at 40 after building something genuine. Rebuilt his reputation with kids in France. And now, he's managing Chelsea until 2032. It's proof that sometimes getting sacked is the best thing that can happen to you. Because it forces you to rebuild. To prove people wrong. To come back stronger. So yeah, welcome to Chelsea, Liam Rosenior. You absolute genius. The journey from a Hull City reject to Stamford Bridge might seem impossible, but you've already done the impossible once. 18 months ago, you were packing up your office at the KCOM Stadium, wondering if you'd ever get another shot. The football world had written you off. Too idealistic, they said. Too stubborn, they said. He'll never make it at the top level. And yet here you are. You turned a team of teenagers into European contenders. You built something real when everyone said you couldn't. You proved that possession football, tactical discipline, and trusting young players isn't just theory, it works. But let's be honest, Strasbourg was the warm-up. Chelsea is the main event. This is where reputations are made and destroyed in the space of 10 matches. This is where the pressure doesn't just build, it suffocates. You'll have 50 million pound players questioning your decisions. You'll have pundits waiting for you to slip up. You'll have fans demanding trophies yesterday. But if anyone can handle it, maybe it's the guy who survived Derby County's administration. The guy who got sacked for doing things right. The guy who rebuilt himself in France when no one was paying attention. So don't mess this up, Liam, because if you do, football's brutal. But if you pull this off, you'll be a legend, no pressure.